Hi, I'm Renee, the child specialist with North Range Behavioral Health, Colorado Spirit COVID-19 response team. I'm here with Alyssa, and we're going to be talking about some budget-friendly, fun family activities.
Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. As Renee said, my name's Alyssa and I'm the support specialist on our Colorado Spirit team. We're going to talk about going through the winter in a pandemic and some ways you can use different low budget or free activities to actually increase your stress management skills, your self-regulation and your de-escalation skills. So to start off, Renee, why don't you talk about why it's so important to spend quality time with your family and the impact that it has on us?
Well, by spending quality time, you're more connected. And we know socially right now during this unique, often stressful, unpredictable time that we're in, we're craving those connections because not everybody's going to the office. Our kids are not going to the school and in person all the time. So by doing that, we're promoting social skills for our kids and adults. We are providing opportunities to use creativity and imaginative play, which is so important. And also, you're increasing your quality relationships within your family unit.
So to start, I just wanted to list a few different really simple, budget-friendly activities that you can try at home this winter. One that I really like is just doing some crafts like drawing with chalk outside, painting rocks. I know kids really enjoy finger painting. You can do coloring books, all sorts of crafts like that. But I wanted Renee to kind of go into how are doing activities that are as simple as crafting able to help us with stress management?
Well, you don't have to be a professional artist to do simple crafts. Whether you're an individual household, a household with no kids, or a household with kids, um, I think, is it still working? Something came up on my screen to re-sign in.
Oh, on my end, it's recording, but I'm not the most
Okay.
advanced with technology, so.
Sometimes technology, and this is something that we have experienced. Alyssa and I have had to navigate. Zoom hasn't been super friendly to us while we've been doing this, so we're going to just move on and hope that it works out and that you guys are still here. The activities, I will say, that we're posting are going to be available in the link, because we're going to just highlight a couple. And the other thing I want to make sure to mention is that our program is free, totally confidential for everyone within our community. And you can contact the warm line at 970 347. Sorry, I wanted to make sure I gave you guys the right number, 2359. Or you can catch our website at northrange.org/Colorado Spirit, Colorado-Spirit. And I'm sorry about that. You don't have to be a professional artist to do crafts. And by doing crafts, we know that art can be an expression of how we're feeling. And then if we show how we're feeling, other people can tap in for support if we need it. And you can tap into someone else for support if they need it. The other thing is you can kind of do simple crafts that take it to another level by building deeper relationships as a family unit. So for one example, you can do a self-portrait and then pass it around the table into and have people write one compliment or praise you for something that you did or something that your partner did or your kids did to build confidence. And we're going to talk later about self-empowerment and being strong. So, and it doesn't have to be anything elaborate, and it can just like literally just be a simple compliment. I appreciate that you helped with picking up after the dogs or unloading the dishwasher. Simple things. Or I really appreciate that you're kind. I appreciate that you think of others. Those types of things as well.
I really love that. I think it just expressing a little bit of appreciation goes a really long way with all the time that we're spending at home. People not only like to feel appreciated, but expressing your appreciation for other people is going to make you feel better as well.
Yep.
Some other activities that I wanted to highlight were, I think, cooking and eating family meals. I think if you can do a breakfast or a dinner where you all sit down together, that's really amazing. And even better if you can actually get the kids in cooking with you, maybe a homemade pizza party, have the kids make a grocery list with you, just getting them more involved with the decision making at home. As Renee mentioned earlier, being outside is shown to reduce depression and anxiety. So you can do really budget-friendly, even free activities, really simple. Go outside and look at the clouds and see what shapes and things you can find. You can play I Spy and go on a walk around the neighborhood, look for wildlife, or feed ducks at the park. And another one that I wanted to highlight was volunteering, helping out a neighbor, volunteering for a local cause, or doing some spring cleaning as a family and donating some old toys together.
Yeah. And Alyssa, you mentioned some really fantastic ideas. I know that when I help someone else, I often get more out of it than the person that I helped. So, and it's nice to teach our kids to consider other people. When you're talking about cooking, one thing that is really fantastic, especially for families with kids, is, as parents, we are trying to raise our kids to eventually be independent and launch. That's like the goal. And so by doing things like cooking together, we're teaching them life skills, communication skills, following directions, first, next, then, last, those types of things. And you're also just having conversation. Maybe you're learning why they really like pizza, or, also they're going to look back at this time and know that you spent time with them. And that is so important for kids, for their security, and just having those memories as they get older is so important as well.
I really love the way that you look at that, because sometimes I think of something simple like cooking as just an enjoyable and fun activity to do together. And then I forget how it brings in so many practical real life skills like learning measurements and following
Yeah.
instructions. So some other ones, just some family activities that I think were really amazing that I wanted to throw in, were doing some readers theater. It's really popular among elementary to middle school age kids. It's kind of like if you want to put on a play at home, but you don't want to write your own script, you can find these free readers theaters online, and everyone gets to pick a part and read aloud, popcorn read. You can play playing cards like Go Fish or Slapjack, really simple games. Singing karaoke and a dance party, which it doesn't have to be super elaborate. You don't have to have an expensive karaoke machine. You can just type in a free YouTube song and grab a big hairbrush for your microphone and just boogie it out with your family. I think indoor camp out or building a fort in the living room, some sort of slumber party, is really fun, especially when it's a little bit cold in the winter. And something I think is really important as a family unit is creating like a chore chart or a family goal, family mission. I think just dividing up the chores helps everyone take responsibility, and it makes it less stressful because they're all being accounted for. Next week, Renee and Shauna are going to talk about creating a family mission when they talk about family resiliency part 2. So you guys should go check that out next Thursday.
Yes. And when I think about just the times that we're currently in, we've had to adapt. A lot of families are familiar with going out to eat frequently. The restaurants aren't all open. So maybe the kids enjoy going out for pizza. Making a pizza party and making pizza at home is one way to replace that and extend it to that emotional connection as a family unit. The other piece that I really like about the chore is, things have changed. Maybe the person who is responsible for dinner is not able to do that because they had a schedule change at their job, or they're working remote now. So everybody has to really be flexible during these times. It can also provide an opportunity to help each other. And Maybe I can recognize that my husband is really busy at his job and his chore is something, and I have a few extra minutes that I could help him with. So I think that those are little things that we can do to make connections, build strong families, which in turn builds a stronger community.
So one more thing that I wanted to mention besides doing fun activities, because I think this is good for the kids, for the adults, for kids, or with adults without kids, just doing things that are going to empower yourself this winter. Like I had mentioned before, kindness and volunteering really go a long way for your own self-esteem. Setting goals for yourself at this time, making sure you're prioritizing self-care and carving out time for that. I know I try to do it every single day. I make sure I allocate time just for self-care. And adopting a positive mindset, expressing gratitude. We had mentioned earlier, like appreciating your family members, just really simple compliments go a long way. And repeating affirmations to yourself, building that positive mindset has really helped me personally build self-appreciation. And when in doubt, sometimes I just kind of fake it till I make it, and I do what I know is going to make me feel good, like exercising, drinking water, and practicing that confidence on the outside. And then eventually, I really do think it catches up to me, and I'm equally as confident inside.
Yes. And the other thing that I really appreciate about what you're mentioning as far as the component of self empowerment and being confident is, by participating in some of these family activities, we're teaching our kids ways to be self aware and the power to take control of what you can. We have no control over the rules right now. We don't control if the school is going to be remote, if the school is going to be open, which I think is a big stressor for a lot of people in our community. And so by doing these things, and like Alyssa was saying, just taking a few minutes to, have a positive mindset and think about like, how are you going to conquer the day with everything you have going on, knowing that things can change at the drop of a hat. And I think that we're also modeling and scaffolding for our kids to be resilient and strong and get through something that is stressful. There's not a lot of guarantees in this life, but trials are one of them. Like nobody goes through life unscathed. Nobody can escape stressful times. And I think right now everyone is feeling it. And so by doing these few things, you're showing your kids how to be strong, which is so great.
I really agree that modeling positive behavior is not only going to be great for yourself, but have a huge impact on your children. And so, as we mentioned before, these are just a few simple activities. The list goes on, and we're going to put the full list in the chat if you guys want to check it out. Of course, feel free to comment any activities that you like doing or any questions that you might have. And as always, if you need someone to talk to, consider giving us a call. It's free, it's confidential. Our warm line number is 970-347-2359. And don't forget, next week, Renee and Shauna are going to continue on part 2 of improving family resiliency.
And we're so glad that you joined us today. And if you have any questions or you have ideas for activities or you need ideas for activities, we are happy to talk with you about that. Like Alyssa was saying, feel free to go ahead and call the warm line. It's 970-347-2359. The other thing I want to remind you guys is that we're in it. Everybody's in it together. We can all be a listening ear for each other. We can all find a way to help each other. And some of these activities do not cost a single thing. And I think that's what's so great, because we know that there's been a financial impact for so many of us and for so many of you that are here with us today. And so we just want to be mindful of that and encourage you to just, get creative. And if you need help with something or need some ideas or help following through with an idea, all of us on our team would be so happy to talk with you about it. And we're so glad that you joined us, and please feel free to reach out with any questions or look for the longer list, more thorough list in the chat.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great day.